Thank you for joining us. So we are back on number three. So number three, yes, number three. There is so much to number three that I feel that it is necessary that we dismantle all aspects of three as much as possible, that we come to understand its functions and how it plays out in our lives. Today, I concluded that three is a number that we use, yes, as 3D, as three dimension. We use this on a vibrational level, but I concluded that three is the number that tells us that nothing really is separate and everything is one. Even when three breaks off and there is two left, and another person has gone doing their thing onto one side, or it's all part of the orchestration of number three. It's like it's the dancer. Three is really the dancer. It has so much to it. It's creative, it's loving, yet still it can stab you. It is just the characteristics of three. Now, when we, as I say, we get to understand the dynamics of three, because we have seen from previous presentations that three is 11. The word three is 11. Now, I keep reminding myself that I need to check on the rules of writing English in this sense. I think it's from numbers 1 to 10 that if you are writing, that you state the number in word form, and of course anything over you would do in the symbol, the number symbol, meaning 2 as a symbol. So 3 basically is like a word or vibration that tells us that there is so much more to it. And I discovered a lot about it when we did Let There Be Light and There Was Light. If you haven't watched anything on Crime Queen to do with this, first the Mother Eve spell, this is the first spell that was spoken of in the scriptures as far as we are able to detect, or I am able to detect right now, is let there be light and there was light. So the word there, which is let there, actually there is the second word, but it has got the numerical value of 11, but it's also the same letters that are used for 3. So basically 3, I'm really wanting to do these presentations short because it takes such a while to load up otherwise. Okay, so let's see how we can do this at bite sizes, I would say. So 3 is also there. Now, I have got another subject on this where I talk about there is also hair. And this is what I mean about the word 3 is giving us this information. Let's put this side by side so we can see. So it's 3 and it's there. So if we do 2, 8, 9, 5, 5, we would have to add the other side as well. So this is 10, 29. 2 plus 9 is 11. So of course it's the same for the word there. Okay, because of my board, let's see if I can shift this a little bit to this side where you can see more. Okay, let's look at this here. Okay, so there is the same, but I've spoken about how there is also hair. So we can see the word 3 gives us that insight of looking at there, because it's the same numerical value. it tells us that there is also here, that it speaks about being present. Now, I did presentation on in showing how Mother Eve, it was the serpent in the garden that was the present. Of course, present in the scriptures. We'll just do this short. Present or the serpent is the same, serpent, and this is 15975552. Adding this together is 34. I just really have done it so many times. This is 10, 20, 25 plus 2 is 27 plus 7. 27 plus 7 is 34. Okay. So 34 3 plus 4 is 7. Now, if we wrote or writing down the word 7, Seven, which has in it Mother Eve, because Mother Eve is really wanting us to know that she's in the middle of everything. The middle of everything means that she's in the middle of creation. She's the core of creation and the day of rest that was spoken of. Meaning, another thing that I got to understand when it is said, and God rested, it's like I've said it before, it's not that God rested altogether and went to lie down and sleep or so or something like that. He rested from all the works that he had made. So he is another subject as well, because he is 13, meaning that he, which is 8 plus 5 equals 13, that we have been speaking of as Jesus Christ with the 12 disciples. And after Christ died, Jesus died and was risen, he became 14 because he was the embodiment of all. So we can see that being resting is a form of, or it's on the same par as being in the grave. Or so can we see that the stories are all really the same? God rested from the works that he had made. So whatever work that Christ Jesus did when he was when he was in human form, according to the scriptures, let's just put it this way, or whatever works that he had made, including the work to submit himself unto death, which probably the hardest work of all as well, that he rested from that work. And so there's where we have the 14th God. The 14th God becomes the embodiment, or the all ruling God. Let's put it this way. Okay, so now we see that there is the seventh there, and I have spoken about two sets of creations in the scriptures. In fact, another person gave me a DVD that speaks of this. He said that there was one creation done in 7 days and the other one was done in 6. So if it was so, then that really accounts for the number 13 as well, 6 plus 7. But it still comes down to the same thing, that when we have mastered all of this that we are meant to do, understanding the message, or or being present, the present that was in the garden, or the serpent that was in the garden as a gift. That's what the serpent signifies, the gift. Now we see the serpent, of course, is on that symbol for medicine as well, or the chemists or pharmacists. We see for the there's the two serpents. Okay, my serpents are not very, they're more like, let's do this. Okay, so the serpents are like this. Okay, so we see the two serpents are there as So we could say they are there for healing. They are the gift of medicine. They are the now medicine don't always mean that it we find what really agrees with us, but it is really a learning and finding the right one for yourself. But that's what the serpent is about. So we say 7 back to number 3. Here it's to show us what is there is also here. So what was in the garden is also here within us. Okay, the garden is within us. 4, 5, 5. Okay, now I've always got this thing that where we have all these sevens, we are talking about Mother Eve here. Mother Eve is the serpent in this sense as well. 15, 20. So this is 20. So basically 7 has formed a foundation, a base. This is where we plant, and that's what again the rest was. So the body was in the grave, meaning it rested, or when we die or and get buried or go 6 foot under, just metaphorically, not everybody does that, but it's that you are resting in the grave, and of course you take your rise, then you become that 14th god. So the message here with 3 is to really direct our path in helping us to understand our purpose, or understand our creation, or how we come to being, or what we are meant to do here. So basically 3 is showing us another aspect of itself. If we did the numerical value for the word 11, this would give us 9. 9 also is the first set of gods discovered in Genesis of chapter 1. So I think it is 1. So there was 9 gods. So basically 9 gods were shown there, and we have, which I have also done presentations showing that the 9 gods have left their logos on our bodies, so to speak. So it's the eyes, the circles. Everywhere we have circles, the gods have put their stamp. It's like a stamp showing who we are. It's like we are meant to examine ourselves, to say, oh, or discover ourselves, to see who we are. And it's 3. 9 divisible by 3. Okay. So 20, of course, if we did the numerical value for the word 20, that would give us 8. So 8 basically is the symbol for infinity, which is also the numerical value for the word womb. I'm trying to keep things simple and not with too many contents, but let's just do this. Womb is okay. So we have 10, 15, 16, 17. And of course, that coincides with the word God as well. So God meaning 7, 6, 4. And this is 10, 17. So basically, the womb is God, or God is the womb. This is something we had not seen or understood before. And this is another way of 3 revealing its true character. So when it is said God is 3 in 1, I am really grateful for these insights, because I am beginning to understand the constructs and concepts of Christianity even more through numerology. So when it said Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, or the Trinity, or 3, or mind, body, and spirit, or all the other aspects of 3, it resonates. It makes sense. But however, On the other hand, the serpent has not been acknowledged in Christianity as God in this sense. The serpent hair, which is 7, is in direct, not just direct correlation, it is about 1. It is depends on what spectrum of God you are in this sense. So of course I've done this with looking at Satan as well, which equals 10. I do want to show more on this, but I'm mindful to leave to have a short presentation on here. So basically, we see that with number 3, or the word 3, and as I've showed before, how we have womb, which is 8. We have seen that womb, the womb equals 8, like this. The symbol for 3 is really like half of 8. So if we divided 8 like this, we would see that we've got 3 here, like it is here. So basically, 3 is an aspect of 8 that is dynamic. It's like it's broken. It's broken. The broken part, although it's whole, there is the wholeness, but we are meant to see 3 as broken, as a handcuff. So basically I've done the presentation on handcuff. If you were to see that, it's the link is here. There is a link. We need to find the link. But 3 is showing us or telling us we need to find the link to be whole. Oh, and that looks like the apple. Interesting. Oh, that's very interesting. So I read into those things. It's like Spirit wants me to look at this, and I'm going to do it again. So 3, and I'm going to repeat myself. 3 wants us to find the link. There is the link. The link is usually here, and it's usually here. The link to be whole, and this would be the axle or the point that would be coming together. Okay, but there we see it's really the apple, the wisdom that we are meant to seek. And that's, I'm going to leave this on here, because the wisdom or the apple we are meant to seek, and I don't need to put this upright because we know what an apple is now. Okay, and so the word apple is actually 5. And APPLE, and we speak of the 14 gods, which is 5. So we are being directed and instructed to discovering ourselves to see that we are 5. Okay, so 1, 7, 7, 3, 5. Adding this together is 10, 17, 18, 23. 2 plus 3 is 5. Wow. So there's the womb, and there's more to 3. I did other things on 3 where Christ spoke of the womb as well, in the sense of saying, I am not a man, I am a worm. And I really delved into that and discovered it's like saying I am a woman. Okay, well, whenever there is a sound like this, or a bell or an alarm, and you're speaking, my grandma would say, that's the truth. So right now I'm saying this is the truth. So let me introduce you to Mother Eve. I don't think I did this before. but going to show you that Mother Eve is really in a state of, it seemed like a state of ambivalent in, or there we are, she's meditating onto, one side is meditating and the other side of Mother Eve is awake, meaning Mother Eve is it depends on which side or what you are trying to achieve or what you're wanting or where you're at on your journey. I think Mother Eve is really saying no matter where you are or what your position is, she is ready to embrace, she's ready to be acknowledged, that the wisdom really lies with her, as in Eve. Eve is number 5, or Christ. Christ is number 5, or Kundalini, which is number 5. The key to open or to find that lock, as that I have expressed, is also the word key is 5, or lock is 5. So if you were handcuffed, there would be a key to open that link, and that would be where you would find your change. You would be in that new state. So, as I say, I really don't want to be spending more time on this. And in fact, I think I've got 21 minutes, which is 3 and 27. Okay. So, we'll continue on number 3. There is so much more to number 3. So, thank you for joining us and being on this us sheep on this journey of discovering more about number 3. Thank you.